Our guy, your father, is he still your dad? I don't know if he's still your dad or not. One of our favorite coaches, Brad Underwood, unfortunately fell in the NCAA tournament to Kentucky 84 to 75. After the game, obviously, he was asked a bunch of questions about his team, what the state of it, how they played, the future of Illinois was mentioned in that as well. And Brad had a quote saying, "We were one of the youngest teams in the NCAA tournament. Lamont is in his 13th NCAA tournament game." I think referring to Lamont Butler, maybe referencing that Kentucky was a little bit more prepared in this game or a little bit more seasoned, which gave them an advantage, them being an older team, which, you know, NCAA tournament experience, older teams, older players do sometimes have an edge against, the unknown of some of these other younger players playing in the tournament. Greg, what do you take this comment as? Is it like I'm making an excuse, or is it just a fact and it did play a factor? Because I mean, Lamont Butler was everywhere in this basketball game and he made a lot of winning plays, a lot of like I've been there moment plays. While on the other hand, I think there was a little bit of lack of composure from guys like Kasperi Shakashonis and Will Riley, who are young and haven't played that much tournament basketball.
We're so back. That's my takeaway. We're so back. Congratulations to Brad Underwood. Cheers to you, Brad, for being aware of the players on your team. Took you a while to figure out exactly what your players are and who they are and why they are what they are. But Brad, guess what? That roster you put together, you figured it out, buddy. You figured it out on March 23rd that you didn't have any experience. Hey, shocker to me. Had no idea. Hey, Cart, do you know how hypothetically players could gain some experience in the NCAA tournament?
By playing and winning games in it.
Winning NCAA tournament games and then being retained by their coach. Those are two things that normally lead to Lamont Butler's 13 career NCAA tournament games. Those are two things that Brad Underwood notoriously struggles with. Not exactly a guy who wins a lot of NCAA tournament games over his full career. He had a great year last year that culminated in an Elite Eight run. Outside of that, usually doesn't win the games he's supposed to in the tournament. And then, since he did have that one year, by the way, the year that was great, he could have retained players who were on that team that had some tournament experience. He chose not to. He opted to use his flight miles, go to Lithuania, go to Croatia, go to Canada, and bring in these talented 19-year-old kids and throw Kerry Booth in there for God knows what reason. And the output was this: a really talented, really frustrating basketball team that ultimately did not have a bunch of different things it needed, experience being one of them, shot making being another one, toughness being another one. You add them all together, maybe a defensive scheme that isn't sitting in drop on Kobe Brea could have helped. And yeah, you come up short. But like, good Lord, dude, do I have a problem with this? Yes, I have a problem with this. Lamont Butler has played in 13 NCAA tournament games at San Diego State. You're Brad Underwood at Illinois. You've had a bunch of good teams. You opted to build this team in a way that handicapped this team. You cannot use that as like this blanket, oh, that explains it at the end of the season. Fix it and don't do it next time. It killed this team.
Yeah, and to me, it's yes, it's true, but also it to me, it's being used as something to mask the real issue here. The fact that you know how many we want to talk about the experience card, like how many games has Coach Underwood won in the NCAA tournament and coached in the NCAA tournament? Probably more than Mark Pope. I saw one team that was a lot more ready and prepared than the other one, in my opinion. Now, that's not everything in this situation, but I don't know. Maybe we don't do drop coverage against Kobe Bryant. I don't know. Maybe we don't let Big T shoot 12 3-pointers, even though he hit five. I hated the attempts on some of those, and I don't know. To me, it's just it's an excuse. Like they didn't win this game because Lamont Butler has played in 13 NCAA tournament games. It helped them, but I don't think that the players played well. I don't think the coaching staff necessarily put them in the best position either. And yeah, they also couldn't get stops, which is what they do all year.
Also, a reminder that Tom Ivisic is 1 year younger than Lamont Butler.
Yeah, but
It's
he
like
hasn't played in NCAA tournament games though.
he's got no experience. This professional basketball player has no experience in big games, I guess. Like, what are we doing, man? Is that really what we're doing? Is that really what we're doing at the end of this?
I mean, it's
It was
off season.
NCAA tournament experience that covered this.
It's off season time.
Oh my God, man. I love Brad. To answer your question, yeah, he is still my father. He owns
He
me.
is. Okay. I didn't know if I mean, I guess he did beat you, but I didn't know if like,
Nope.
banners change anything. Sweet 16s.
No, he owns me. I'm actively trying to run away from home, and he just keeps locking me in my room.
Yeah. Well, you know what the funny part about this is? He says this about experience, and how many players do you expect on Illinois to be back next season?
Illinois people are telling us more than we think, but that's Illinois people, and you can never believe Illinois people when they say something.
That's
So,
very true.
I think Kylan is for sure back. I did notice in the post game presser they sent Kylan and Big T. Did you catch that?
I actually didn't, but I did. You catch Trey White's comments?
No, what'd he say? He
He
said
was
he's
just like
back, right?
he was like fired up about being back. He like intently said it like this pissed him off. He wants to use it for next year with Illinois.
Yeah. Wonder if the coaches feel that way. I think I thought it was telling that Kylan and Avicic were sent to the podium. I think that's these are our guys next year, and we're bringing them back, and they're going to lead us, and they're going to build off this experience, and that would actually be a great foundation if you get Tomislav Visic, Kylan Boswell. In theory, I think they're going to get Merez Johnson back. I think everything else is up in the air. They have a decision to make on Humrickhouse, a decision to make on White, a decision to make on DGL, or I mean, all these players have their own decisions to make too. They're going to be good. Illinois is going to. I think there's a very logical argument that Illinois will be better next season than they were this year. And I think naturally you are going to retain some players from this group in a way you didn't last year. And that is really important. I feel like I've been saying that since the summer. We got laughed at in the summer. Now everyone's like, yeah, we got to retain guys, Brad Underwood included. So hopefully they make that fix this summer and everything goes up and up.
Yeah, retention will help until Brad sees shiny object. Like it's
That's
big,
the thing.
it's Big T now, but like a month ago, he had about 9 7-foot Europeans touching campus weekly.
And they're bringing in Sar, and like the whole, I like they need to replace the stars, and you don't replace the stars with things you retain, you know. So like you're still going to be trying to thread this needle, and it's a hard needle to thread when you are as much of an attrition-based program as Brad Underwood has turned this Illinois program into.
Yeah, and they just didn't shoot 30% from three. That's what it comes down to, right?
That too.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do this, find some shooters. I highly recommend that. But thank you, Brad, for providing us with this less than 12 hours after the defeat. I look forward to the off season. It's one of my favorite times as an Illini appreciator. We'll see what happens with Brad, the Illini, and the transfer portal. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.